Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Peter O'Brien, Indian River County Commissioner. While we appreciate the amendment extending the phase into a 7-year period, it still is a huge economic impact to a lot of counties. In Indian River County, and you all remember last year we worked with ACA at the direction of the legislature to come up with a more accurate billing number. And when we take that revised number and put it with our actuals, our 5-year average is $666,000 per year. Beginning next year, our number is jumping to $1 million, and by year 7, that number goes to $2 million. And that is just a huge hit in our budget, particularly in these tight times when we've been trying to deal with a declining tax roll. So I would ask that you consider, one, the total county contribution. The starting number is just about at $270 million, although it looks like the current actual number is about $250 million. So we would ask that you would consider to start that phase in at the actual number of $250 million and not at the $270, which is just a projected number. And secondly, we would really ask that there could be some type of cap. After 7 years, there doesn't seem to be any end to the escalation of the cost, and at some point, we would greatly appreciate some type of finality so that we know what our number is and that we can deal with it. But we do appreciate the extension. Going to 7 years, it will help a little bit. But again, for our county, we're going from $666,000 to $1 million next year and then $2 million after that. So we just ask that you continue to work with the FAC and the counties to find a minimal way to implement. And thank you for your time.
Madam Chair?
Thank you. President Lee.
Question. Commissioner, thank you for being here. And I understand that, you know, this at some level becomes parochial and there's 67 different views of, and I can only imagine what it's like to be at your place on the food chain, if you will, where you're kind of have the recipient of whatever the legislature does. We feel that way very much vis-a-vis Congress on a given day. But what would you suggest to us? You know, we're trying to move to a model that, you know, is more defensible, is a better business model for reimbursement rates and a more progressive system that purports or promises to have, you know, so much better outcomes over time and more equitable and fair results. In the meantime, there are going to be some winners and losers, and of course, we're not going to hear from any of the winners. I know how that works, but as one of the people that, you know, comes up a little short, I mean, what would you propose we do?
Commissioner
Madam Chair, thank you. Senator, we've been on a cost basis for the last several years, and we worked very hard with ACA to come up with an accurate billing system that they've improved the database they use. They've given the counties access to that database so we can verify. And I think the process has worked very, very well. We still have a few discrepancies, but I think they've become minor in nature. And the numbers that we are getting are numbers we feel we can live with. From my county's point of view, and I realize there might be other counties that will have a different opinion, but basing it on our actual cost numbers going forward to us would be a fair approach. If we need to continue to do the system we're doing now, from my county's point of view, having staff review each bill and check it for accuracy, we would be glad to do that for a couple more years if needed, to where we get a number that you all would feel very confident, okay, that really is their number, here's the trend, we verified it with ACA, we all agree to the number, and then we can plug that number in. You know, we would be willing to continue to do that work to develop that number.
One more question, Madam Chair. And if you did that for a couple of years and you found that you were still short $600 and some odd thousand, you would be here saying, well, it is what it is?
No, sir. I think we would, you know, again, we think the numbers we're getting now are fair numbers, and we're willing to pay our fair share. So if, and as an example, ACA has projected us to be at $1 million this year, the current year we're in, but our actual numbers are showing a trend to be about 780. And we're fine with that. I mean, that's the number we can live with. We know it's based on the billing. We verified it, and we can live with that number.
Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Commissioner.
Thank you very much for allowing us.